Good afternoon, Patriots. This is Praying Medic. It is June 19th, and this is my latest Q update. Q posts can still be found at qanon.pub, along with a number of other websites, and my theme for this video is What a Wonderful Day. Alright, got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to get right at this. Q posted this on June 15th, and that means I am 4 days behind on this. I do apologize, but I've been insanely busy answering emails and messages from people, and I took Father's Day off, so I apologize for those of you who've been waiting for me. Just a picture of a bicycle. It's actually a Google bicycle that Q posted, and he wrote, "Access kills. POTUS in good spirits today. Morning strolls are refreshing. 2.5 hours. Q." Notice one thing. The Q's trip code is not visible up here. Also notice the user ID of this post is 33AF96. Another Anon, supposedly Q, posted this. It's just a Google guest badge picture of it, and again, anonymous. There is no trip code on this post either, but same user ID, 33 A as in Alpha, F as in Foxtrot, 96. Okay, and then Q posted this with the trip code, and you'll notice same user ID, 33 AF96. And what you see is down there in the lower left corner, 1762748. That is responding to this post number, which is 1762748. So these messages are all responding together. And I did a little graphic here to put it all together for the people on Twitter who wanted to see it. But if you assume that this post was done by Q because it has Q's trip code and the user ID is the same, then all three of these are posted by Q. So why is Q posting a picture of a Google bike and a Google badge? You'll see a better image of the Google bike here in just a minute. What is going on? Well, you're about to find out, and here is, there you go, there's an image in the center there in the bottom. You can see a zoom in of the Google logo on the bike. All right, so Q is talking about Eric Schmidt and Google again. Now, we remember on June 12th, Q said former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, ES, wasn't sleeping well. So Schmidt continues to have problems, and it has a lot to do with the private communications between people in the Obama administration, his cabinet and staff. Q has said that they used private Gmail accounts to try to hide illegal activity to evade the NSA detection. And I think that's where this is all going. So one of the Anons asked, hey, what happens in 2.5 hours? And now this was on the 15th. Q responded, think the meeting yesterday. Q, this is a meeting where Rosenstein came over to the White House to brief the president about the Inspector General report, and we're going to cover that a lot during this video. So get your Pepto-Bismol or get your popcorn ready, because I don't know which one's going to be for you. Here's a link to the story about Rosenstein's meeting at the White House with the president to brief him on the IG report. One of the Anons said, hey, does this have anything to do with the Gmail drafts? The access kills. Q responded, what came out in the IG report? JC, Gmail. Jim Comey had a private Gmail address that he used for FBI business. They all had them. Reread drops regarding private emails, regarding convicting Hillary equals convicting themselves. Why did the entire Hussein Obama administration use private emails? ES, Eric Schmidt is key. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful day. You're going to see this a lot in this video, just letting you know. So I went back here to one of Q's very first posts back on October 29th. Because Q set up here, they all had private Gmail accounts. And convicting Hillary, and this whole Inspector General report is all about Hillary's private email server. Okay. Q said if they convicted Hillary, they'd be convicting themselves. Q, this is an old post from Q, October 29. This is before Q used a trip code. Q was posting on 4chan. It was just another anon. But if you go back and look at the board, I frequently go back and look at Q's posts, and this is one where Q said, why wasn't Hillary prosecuted for the emails? Put simply, Obama ultimately okayed her use of the private server by using the non-government email address to communicate with her. Obama also had an alias along with each of his cabinet members. Therefore, indicting Hillary would lead to indicting Obama and his cabinet, which could never happen. Remember, he lied about knowing about that, and ultimately it came out in the WikiLeaks email dump. Okay. Link to an article about Comey using personal email address for FBI business. Anon said, hey, another Q proof. And there's a link to a tweet by the president, image of POTUS taking a morning stroll. Q responded, we do try. Have a wonderful weekend. Trust your president, Q. And Q, one of the Anons said, Q's post about the morning stroll came out after the president's tweet. How is it a proof? Q said, check the timestamp. 18 minutes was the stroll post. 32 minutes was POTUS tweet. 5x5 means understood or loud and clear, Q. This is a side-by-side graphic. Let me see if I can move this over just a little bit so you can see it. President tweets out at, let's see, what should I do first? I'll do Q's post first. Q posts at 3:18. Morning strolls are refreshing. Look in the lower left corner of the video. You'll see the timestamp 3:32. Trump tweets out, great discussions with the European Union Commission, and he's taking a morning stroll. So Q here is suggesting that the morning stroll idea is that a coincidence? And look, I feel I need to say this for some people. The proofs that Q puts out is with respect to the president's tweets and images taken from Air Force One and things. There is a degree of mystery in them. There's a degree of uncertainty. Q just can't come right out and take a picture of himself standing next to the president or sitting next to Air Force One with the president. All of these things have to have an element of mystery in them. That is just the way that this operation is set up. It has to give people who refuse to believe, who don't want to believe in Q, it has to give them a reason not to believe. And it has to give people like us just enough, suspicion, enough reason to say, this looks like a coincidence, another coincidence, and another coincidence. At some point, where do you say all these coincidences can't really be coincidences? So if you're looking for hard, verifiable proof in these things, you're not going to find a lot of it. It's all very subtle. It's all very suggestive. And you either believe or you don't believe. And we're going to talk more about proofs here in just a bit. So one of the Anons said this, Q, I know confirming the Q proofs is going to be tough, and it'll also flood the bread. That's the threads on 8chan. We need some type of guidance. What should we have ready? I know you work for us, USA, but we Anons work for you. Tell us what we need to be ready. This has become my new favorite post by Q. We will inspect and review Marine One proofs forthcoming. Air Force One inside thereafter. More and more Q. All right. So, speaking of proofs, Q is saying that we are going to start seeing pictures from inside Marine One, which is the helicopter that transports the president to and from the White House over to Air Force One. since they can't park Air Force One next to the White House. And of course, Air Force One is the big jetliner that the president flies in. Q is going to be posting proofs from inside of those airplanes and around Marine One. So look for those to come. I am looking forward to that. There's Marine One. I'm just sorry. I think this is just awesome. I can't wait for Marine One pictures to start showing up on Q posts. All right. One of the Anons asked if Paul Manafort was going to be helped integrity, devotion, loyalty. Will POTUS and Q allow Manafort to suffer the wrath of the cabal for helping POTUS and the good guys? Q responded, plants need water. Q has previously said that Manafort was a plant. And one of the Anons said, soak it, Manafort. Here's a graphic. Carter Page was a plant, and Manafort was a plant. Interestingly enough, the following morning, I kid you not, James Comey posted this on Twitter. Good to see new growth in Iowa and across the country. Standing out in a field with a bunch of plants. You can't make this stuff up. All right. So one of the Anons posted a picture of Barack Obama and his roommate from years ago, and noticed they were holding hands, and Q responded and said, have you identified the other person? Search Obama's administration, no facial hair, obtain name, cross-reference FBI security clearance. No. Why? Origin, Q. So Q suggests that this cat was in the Obama administration and didn't get a security clearance. And then he goes on to write this, and I'll just read this to you. Why are Obama's records sealed? Is that unusual? Why did 42 Obama admin staff obtain FBI bypasses with no background check? IT scandal regarding the Owans? Probably. We know that the Owans were hired by over 50 Democrats in the House of Representatives, and none of them did background checks on the Owans. Access to classified emails, summary, security meeting notes, briefings, etc., with no FBI background check or clearance. What was the purpose? Leak to Pakistani intelligence? Yes. Muslim Brotherhood infiltration? Yes. IG report on Hillary email handling means little. So if you think that the IG report on Hillary's emails is a big enchilada, it's not. It's nothing. Small potatoes. Don't get wrapped up around it. Q says keep your eye on the ball. POTUS is not going through this for nothing. Watch the video again if you need clarity. Speech that will get the president elected. There is so much evil and corruption. It's horrifying. We owe it to our children. All right. Regarding Obama and his past and his college records that are sealed. The official story says that Obama went to Columbia College in, I believe, 1981. But, in fact, he made a trip to Pakistan in 1981. And he came under the instruction of Zygmunt Brzezinski. John Brennan also happened to be in the area of Pakistan and Afghanistan at the same time. There was actually a lot of CIA people that were there. Now, the official story says Obama went to Pakistan, came back, and went to Columbia College immediately after returning. He passed on a full-ride scholarship to Occidental College, and then supposedly went to Columbia College, the records of which are sealed, and no one who has attended Columbia College during that time frame ever remembers running into him. In fact, I believe the head of the department that Obama supposedly studied under has said he never met Obama at Columbia. So there's a lot of people who say that Obama never actually attended Columbia College. This is from Conservative Treehouse, The Last Refuge. This article is titled, John Brennan, the CIA, Zygmunt Brzezinski, Columbia University, and Obama. If you're interested in this, I would highly recommend reading this article. It is extremely interesting. It gives a lot of background on Barack Obama when he was young. He actually graduated high school the same year I did. He's 1 month younger than I am. Talks a lot about what happened to him after college, the roommates that he hung out with, how he went to Pakistan and met up with Zbigniew Brzezinski. Good article. I don't have time and space to go into all the details, but definitely worth looking into. Now, one of the Anons posted this list of main players in the Obama administration. It's all cabinet level people: Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Interior, Secretary of Energy, etc. Q said, search foreign posts in the State Department. The face is important. Okay. Q then posted this. Note the CF Clinton Foundation children drop in the IG report. It's important. Official document statement. The B is the beginning. Not all are awake. That's referring to this. This is on page 294. Under questions regarding Coleman, this guy, hang on a second, let me get his name. It's in the tweet here. Executive Assistant Director for Counterterrorism, Randall C. Coleman. He was taking notes in a meeting that he had with Comey, or it was probably notes for the meeting. He was going to do a briefing with Comey on October 4th about the Wiener laptop. Okay, October 4th. This is interesting because kind of the story with Comey is that he says he was not aware of the Wiener laptop, or that they needed it to get a search warrant to dig into that until I think October 26th or 27th. But in the report, it comes out that he was briefed by Randall Coleman on October 4th. And they all have collective amnesia about this stuff. You read through this section of the report, and like I said, turn it around page 290 and go to 295. And it's just crazy because none of them remember the meetings. They don't remember the phone calls. They don't remember talking about things. It's ridiculous, the collective amnesia that they all have. And to me, that says they're hiding something. So this part's notes that Coleman said that this is regarding Anthony Weiner. An unrelated subject, number 3, is Weiner texting the 15-year-old sexually explicit. Federal SW, iPhone, iPad, laptop, initial analysis of laptop, thousands of emails, Hillary Clinton and Foundation, crime against children. All right, so the Weiner laptop issue notes that there are emails regarding Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, and crimes against children. That is one of the bombshells that they don't want to talk about in these hearings that are going on. Do not want to talk about that. All right. I said Comey, Coleman, Baker, Rubicki, all of them. None of them say that they remember any meetings, the phone calls, the emails. They're all pleading ignorant about that whole thing. And it's like, Wiener laptop. I don't remember anything about that. I guarantee you, every single one of those guys was crapping their pants over that Wiener laptop. There are some reports that say Comey just panicked when he found out that, a week or two before the election, that they still didn't have a search warrant for the laptop, and he didn't know what to do. So it's a big deal. Q reposted a Chrome from January when he asked about people in government who use private email addresses and why Eric Schmidt went to North Korea. So this is the original post over here to the left, new post to the right, future proves past, news unlocks. And it's just a list of people in the Obama administration, cabinet and staff who all use private emails. And what the heck was Eric Schmidt doing in North Korea? I suspect that he was setting up some kind of an email access, a server or a network that was supposed to be not traceable by the NSA, but of course, it didn't work so well. At the very bottom of this post, when it says, what is Eric Schmidt doing in North Korea? What network did he set up? Who else was in North Korea at the time? That is New Mexico Governor, I think Richardson is his name. Bottom says D-class POTUS, shot heard around the world. D-class. This is in January. So Q was already telling us in January that Trump was going to declassify information that would expose that stuff. Then in May, we found out about the DOJ Nunez release, okay, the executive order that's going to declassify all this secret stuff. So it's very valuable to go back and look at previous Q posts and put all this stuff together. One of the Anons suspected that John Huber, the prosecutor from Utah, is going to bring the hammer down. He created this graphic, and basically this arrow here points to a Q post here that says we have it all. Gmail comms. Over here it says it's precursor, who had access, reveal Gmail draft comms, and then in between these this bracket here, think Eric Schmidt departure, think North Korea, many drafts. So the Anon is saying, look, this part of what Huber is prosecuting has to do with crimes that were hidden by their secret email communications. Q then posted this. This is a list of reporters named by WikiLeaks who colluded with the DNC or Hillary. It's a long list of people. And I mean, it's everyone from Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough to Rachel Maddow. Lots of people from CNN. And actually Jeff Zucker is on there. He's, I think he's the CEO of CNN. ABC, Huffington Post. No Fox people on there, which I thought was interesting. Maggie Haberman from New York Times. So Q wrote this: the Bridge Podesta Group, bridge between the media, FBI, DOJ, and Hillary. Why did the Podesta Group close? Public charges? No. Why did it close? When did Huber start? November? JP, John Podesta, and Huma, November. Sealed. Do they know? Why did the Podesta Group close? Why no leaks? Who else knows? Hillary deal request? Why? IG, arrow points toward Huber. Can the IG disclose evidence in pending criminal cases in public disclosures and reports? Why not? Would that taint and bias the grand jury? Sure would. Everyone has an opinion. Few have facts. Clickbait. Q. Q is kind of leading us in a string, suggesting that Huber has been working on Podesta and Huma Abedin and Hillary a lot longer than anyone suspects. So we get to go back to some old posts. So Q suggested that the Podesta Group, which closed in November, was actually because the Podestas were indicted. This is a news article from Politico talking about the Podesta Group's last days in November. Okay. And then Q went on to say, who else knows? This is confirmation that the Podestas know about sealed indictments. Why did Hillary request a deal? Because she knew. All right. Jury taint bias. It can't be public. Nothing can be leaked. They can't disclose in hearings in Congress any information that is going in front of a grand jury. Maybe one of the reasons why a lot of this information is not getting out in front of Congress. JP, John Podesta, and Huma, November. Huber, recent reveal by Sessions, November start. So we just found out a few months ago from Jeff Sessions that Huber has been working on prosecuting government-related crimes since November. That was kept hidden, and no one knew about that for a long time. Did Hillary panic and request a deal in December? Think Huber. Coincidence? You have more than you know. News unlocks past. Map. Q. All right, so here we go back to another Q post from October 31st. And I'm just going to draw your attention to these here. Q said on November 3rd, Podesta was indicted. Now we don't know if it was John or Tony at that time, but now Q is saying it was actually John Podesta, JP, and Huma on the 6th, that they were both indicted. So this goes back to December 6th. And this is where Q wrote, Hillary tried to cut a deal today. We said no, Q. All right, did Hillary actually find out that the Podestas were indicted in November and then ask for a deal in December? Q is saying, yes, that is exactly what happened. Of course, we know Q said no deals for people like her. One of the Anons responded, read the last post. Huber started in November. What else was slated to happen in November? We have Podesta indicted on the 3rd, Huma Abedin on the 6th. Do they know? So Q posted this. The Inspector General started long before Huber setting the stage. Inspector General started in, I think, January 8th, actually before the president was inaugurated. The Inspector General started his work. Important note, think Inspector General equals FBI, Huber equals the DOJ, no DC involvement. Why are we emphasizing this given that the world is watching? Is it strategic? Well, of course it is. Or they already know, hence the CEO and political mass resignations. Adding up, logical, careful of clickbait. Q. All right, so one of the Anons said, okay, if you're still not getting it, here's what he's saying. On 11/3, Huber made a sealed indictment. On 11/6, Huber made another sealed indictment. Podesta on the 3rd, Huma Abedin on the 6th. Actually, I did see pictures back then of Huma Abedin walking around with what looked like an ankle monitor. So there is some evidence floating around out there, if you want to look for it, that Huma Abedin probably has been indicted. I haven't seen anything about it. Podesta, we do know that Hillary Clinton was wearing an ankle boot for a long time, supposedly for an ankle injury, and of course so was no-name Senator McCain. All right, so Q said, hey, well done, Anon, shows commitment. One of the Anons said, thank you, Q, for your service to our great country. You've restored true hope in the hearts of many patriots. God is with you and all of us. Q responded, no one person is above another. We are all in this together. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Could not have said it better myself. No one person is greater. No one in this movement is less. We're all equals, and we're all together. All right, getting a little bit closer to today, on June 17th, Q posted this. It's a link to a Fox News article about Paul Ryan bringing up a vote in the House of Representatives to force the DOJ to comply with the request for documents. Q reposted a previous post from June 12th. Is Ryan still there because he's going to support POTUS? This is an Anon who asked a question. Q said, who brings that vote's House floor? Who decides? Why is it important? What's coming? Full weight of the House. Some must remain clean from what is about to happen. That was on the 12th. Okay. On the 17th, 5 days later, Fox News article is all about Paul Ryan and Gowdy and everybody else threatening to bring the full weight of Congress down on Rosenstein and the DOJ if they do not cooperate with their demands for documents and transparency. So Q nailed it 5 days earlier. Coincidence? Not bad for a LARP. Here's the article that Q posted. One of the Anons posted an excerpt from an interview with from Devin Nunes. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Nunes basically was telling Rosenstein and Chris Wray they're either going to be part of the cover-up crew or they're going to be part of the cleanup crew. And it's up to them to decide. They're going really hard on Rosenstein. And here is part of the interview. I'm not going to include it in this video because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Q reposted that Anon's crumb about the interview with Devin Nunes. And then Anon said this, it's about time Congress acted like it still has some power. We'll see intelligence branch has had it neutered with so-called national security, right? And Congress has a really hard time getting at anything because DOJ and FBI can always say, oh, it's an issue of national security, we're not going to tell you. So people are getting fed up with that. Q responded and said, Google original post provided undeniable proof. How do you share what you already know legally? Well, Q has repeatedly asked us this question. When you have information, how do you share it legally? You have Congress ask for it. You have representatives and senators ask for it. You have people come into hearings and testify. They have to produce documents. That's the legal process for getting this information out. And Q says that Google original post related to the bicycle and the Google badge, that they have undeniable proof of what's going on. So Q said those who don't act now know they can't hide the reasons why. What a wonderful day. Here we go again. Here, Q is reposting a previous link to that post number. And he's just confirming that this was a post he was talking about, the Google bike. Access kills, POTUS is in good spirits, morning strolls are refreshing. So, in just in case there's any question. And when you see these posts on my Twitter threads, all Q is doing is confirming that his previous statement or whatever, he's referring to this post number with the red link on it. All right, moving along. One of the Anons asked for confirmation about the man in the picture with Obama. He said, this looks like a good match. Can you confirm? Q responded, track the history of this guy. Now, this is Sohail Siddiqui. A lot of articles out there about him. Everybody's done articles, interviews. This is a PBS interview from 2008. It was actually done about 3 weeks before President Obama was elected in 2008. Guardian has an article. New York Times did an article. There's lots of information out there on this guy. I had no idea that he was in the Obama administration. The public story on this guy is he's kind of a grifter. Really never made much of himself. Didn't really go anywhere. Ended up, I think, up in the Seattle area. Would not have guessed that Q is saying that he worked in Obama's administration. So that is going to be interesting to track. Q posted a link to an interview with, again, with Maria Bartiromo and Devin Nunes. Q says, listen carefully. What will this week bring? Again, this is Maria Bartiromo and Nunes talking about Rosenstein and Chris Wray being either part of the cover-up crew or part of the cleanup crew. And they're talking about the Strzok page text and the bias in the FBI. An Anon sent this message to Q. Happy Father's Day. You're furthering divine stride of our founding fathers. May you feel their blessing, and may they shower keen intelligence, power, and safety upon you. Q said, thank you and God bless, Q. And then he reposted actually a tweet from the president. My supporters are the smartest, strongest, most hardworking, and most loyal that we've seen in our country's history. It's a beautiful thing to watch as we win elections and gather support from all over the country. As we get stronger, so does our country. Best numbers ever. And moving along, one of the Anons thought that this week will bring a proof that Rosenstein altered the IG report, citing a tweet by the president and a letter from the Freedom Caucus as evidence. And this is a tweet by the president, and if you remember this, Trump was basically saying, what's taking so long with the Inspector General's report on Crooked Hillary? Why is it being delayed? Hope it's not being made weaker. It was a month later when we got it than it was supposed to be. On the left is a letter signed by Andy Biggs, Matt Gaetz, and another member of Congress, and they're asking for full transparency on this investigation. Q, again, reposted this post from the Anon. Here's the post number. Q then posted this. It's a picture of QAnon hashtag on a wall in Barcelona, Spain. The world is watching. Truth, light, Q. The world most definitely is watching. Q posted this link to a Twitter status, and it is a short video. Again, I can't post this in the video without getting a copyright strike, but it's essentially Barack Obama saying that ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs, and that order and progress can only come when they surrender their individual rights. Now, that was like 20 seconds taken out of a 30-minute speech, and it's easy to take it out of context. And actually, this Twitter account did sort of take it out of context. And Anon responded, "Holy smokes, they're in for it. You really do have it all." Q responded, "Happy Father's Day." Not really related to this, but it's time for another proof. So at 9:48, Q responded, "Happy Father's Day." Q. And Anon posted a link noting that this is Barack Obama, published 2016. Obama's speech given at the Bilderberg Group conference in Brussels. Actually, I don't think it was the Bilderberg Group. I think it was the UN. And Obama's comments are chilling. This was sent by a German friend after the YouTube version from the US was pulled. Unbelievable. Obama actually said it out loud. Again, it is taken out of context, just to be fair. Q then posted the link to the entire video and said the lead-in to the speech was a cover. Exit out was missing what? Well, I'm going to let you figure that out if you want to listen to that video. You can. It's right here on YouTube. President Obama speaks to Europe. You can find that on my Twitter timeline. You can listen to it, 30-minute speech, and see what you think of it. I don't want to bias you. Q posted this. It is a link to a sketch by Charles Barkley, Alex Rodriguez from Saturday Night Live, and they are talking smack about Q.
And every foot matters, every down matters, and every kiss begins with Q.
I think that's a K.
Oh, sure it's okay, Greg. You gotta get woke. It's 2007.
Q is living rent-free in the heads of these people. And the Anon said Q's saying that the anti-Q talk is about to go mainstream in the biggest way. Q says, "Hey, look, Snopes link. Snopes is building an algorithm to track and refute all Q claims as false." There's a link here to this article. And they're just talking all kinds of smack about Q and how Q is followed by Alex Jones. Actually, Alex Jones is not on the Q movement anymore and never really was. So, over the target. One of the Anons said Snopes is run by the left. It's anything but an impartial fact checker. The more they attack Q, the stronger we become. That is true. Q said, review the lawsuit, review the GoFundMe plea, review financial disclosure, review the information date, initial investors. It's controlled. Q. Of course it's controlled. The left is very good at trying to control the narrative. This is an article of the New York Times about Snopes and their legal battle and their GoFundMe account and all the other things that they had going on. It's the second article from Courthouse News about a lawsuit involving the owners and founders of Snopes. They have a shady past, worth checking into. Q posted this for a LARP. This is the link up above the Snopes link. For a LARP, we sure do get a lot of coverage. Must be all the original pics. In brackets, 7-minute delta today. Word for word, plus 7 POTUS. How many days in a week? Enjoy the show. So that is in reference to this. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. We have Q's post, Happy Father's Day. It was posted at 12:48. You have a tweet from the president, Happy Father's Day. What time was it posted at? 12:55. 7 minutes later. Word for word. Coincidence? All these darn coincidences keep adding up. Speaking of 7-minute deltas, here's another one. President tweets out 7:42 about Strzok and Page and Mueller, the witch hunt. 7:49, 7 minutes later, another tweet about border security. All right, Q posted this graphic showing in the past that Peter Strzok was employed by the FBI because he was a cooperating witness, but he's now going to testify before Congress without the Fifth Amendment protection. Why? Because a plea deal was made. So Q there's a graphic on the left, and there's a Q graphic in the middle. And the letter on the left says that Strzok is a cooperating witness and he's willing to testify without Fifth Amendment protection. Q posted in the middle, Strzok, Deputy Assistant Director of Counterintelligence, cooperating witness, power is removed. So a lot of people have had opinions about Peter Strzok. Q has said for the longest time he's a cooperating witness. And this letter confirms exactly what Q said. Now, Q posted this. Public learned today about Strzok. Why? What must be finished? Why is he still employed? What's the purpose? LP Lisa Page was released after she testified and cooperated. Peter Strzok will be released after he testifies and cooperates. Just because something isn't public doesn't mean it's not happening. DOJ texts and emails is what the reference there. There's a link to a Guardian article about Trump getting rid of people in the CIA. Q says CIA is down 19 people this year alone. When will the records be unsealed? Shock and awe. Projection. Attack POTUS Foundation, acting New York Attorney General, told why. Clinton Foundation, brackets Nightmare Awake, brackets slush fund children. The claim, it's a political attack regarding the case against POTUS. So Q is saying that Trump is going to attack the Clinton Foundation because the New York Attorney General is attacking the Trump Foundation. Projection. POTUS in Russia. Why did the Democrats accuse Trump of colluding with Russia? Because Hillary and Obama were colluding with Russia. What is their claim? It's a political attack regarding the case against Trump. So when it comes out that Hillary actually did collude with Russia, they're going to claim, oh, this is retaliation because we claimed that you were colluding with Russia. So there's this little game back and forth going on. This is an article that Q linked saying that Strzok is going to testify before Congress. Here is the link to the Guardian article that Q posted about the CIA losing people, fight in the intelligence community with the president. The thing that I find interesting is this part of the article here. This is talking about a former Marine CIA agent who was fired. Over a month later, CIA has not sent a replacement liaison to the White House. This particular liaison, when he was first removed, got into a clash with Ezra Cohen Watnick, the 30-year-old intelligence director on the National Security Council staff, to whom he reported the one that McMaster had problems with. Cohen Watnick was a junior case officer at the Defense Intelligence Agency, where he caught the eye of General Flynn. When Flynn came to the White House, Cohen Watnick was among the Flynn deputies, whom career security staff came to view as a clique, derisively known as Flintstones. Q referred to projection. Psychological projection is a theory in psychology in which we defend ourselves against our own unconscious impulses by accusing other people of doing exactly what we're doing. This is an article about the New York Attorney General filing a lawsuit against the Trump Foundation. And Trump said he is not going to settle this lawsuit. He'll take them to court and they're going to pay for it. This is an article about the Clintons and their actual collusion with Russia. It's on the National Review. You can look that up if you want to. It's a good article. There's actually quite a few articles out there that detail the actual collusion that Hillary did with the Russians prior to the election. Projection indeed. Speaking of Ezra Cohen Watnick, Q reminded us to keep in mind that Ezra was hired by Jeff Sessions at the assistance of the president. Important to remember, this is a link to an article. And it's a New York Magazine article. Fired White House official joins the DOJ at Trump's insistence. So Ezra Cohen Watnick is in the DOJ for a very specific reason. He is a good guy. Q posted this. He said, see next, eggshells. Q. Tweet by Devin Nunes. Can anyone tell me who the DOJ lawyer is that speaks French? via text in the IG report. It'll save a lot of time in the hearings this week, so my colleagues won't have to ask this question. Everyone wants to know who FBI Attorney 2 is, the attorney they won't mention. People are trying to figure out who these two unnamed attorneys are, and Horowitz won't talk about it. But this one was asked about, rethinking their commitment after seeing what was going on with Trump, and they said, hell no, viva la resistance. You're going to hear more about this, so get ready. Q said that this is connected to this. These are all the people who were fired or forced out of office: James Baker, Lisa Page, Mike Cortan, Josh Campbell, Dave Loffman, John P. Carlin, Assistant Attorney General, head of DOJ's National Security Division, fired, forced out. Officially, Carlin said he resigned, but Q said he was forced out. This is not new stuff. This was posted back in May, right? Updated list. Now, Q posted this. D, morning sun brings heat, full moon coming, undiscovered stars being learned, missions forward, Q. The Anons were taking guesses at what it means. Probably going down the wrong road here, but Q posted about the sun and the moon. Elon Musk. Heat is the Tesla cars exploding. The full moon is on 27th, and Musk's birthday is the 28th, and the mission, SpaceX, is the 29th. Maybe it's about that stuff. Q said it's not. That message was not for the Anon. It was for somebody else. But another Anon had to take a swing at what this means. So here's his guess on what that coded message means. And Q said this: ability to share is at open. Heat is on who? Full transparency, declassify. Undiscovered facts emerge. Ability to move forward. Occam's razor, Q. Occam's razor says that all other things being equal, the simplest explanation tends to be the correct one, which is why I generally don't pay a lot of attention to overly complicated explanations where people weave into the story all these dates and names and times and numbers and places, because in order for those theories to be correct, you have to line up a whole lot of very unlikely possibilities. Occam's razor basically says, take the most direct, simple explanation. It's generally the right one. So Q says this post here, morning sun brings heat, full moon coming, undiscovered stars learned, mission forward, has something to do with, this is obviously having to do with declassifying this information, opening up the sharing of secrets. Who is the heat on? Full transparency coming. Are the facts emerging? And do we have an ability to move forward from this little stalemate that we're at? I think we're going to, and I think that D might be Devin Nunes, but just my thought. Speaking of Devin Nunes, his counterpart on the House Intel Committee, Adam Schiff, blew a gasket when he learned that Nunes had received information from the FBI about Clinton emails. Here's an article. Schiff was said it's deeply disturbing that Nunes received FBI information. Q asked, did you know? Here's the article on the Hill. All right, Q asked if the autists caught the exchange. And this is in the morning of the 18th, so yesterday morning, between Dick Durbin and Chris Wray about the president's use of iPhones to speak with foreign leaders. Hey, did you catch that? POTUS private calls with Kim, new phone number, via the iPhone. How did that particular senator know that kind of highly classified intelligence? And Q reposted his own post from the 12th. Would you believe that Hussein Obama tried to call Kim prior to the summit? He did not have his updated phone number. 3 North Korean generals were released. That closed the pathway for bad actors. This is the exchange between Chris Wray and Dick Durbin.
Reportedly, the president uses 2 White House-issued iPhones. One allows him to make calls. The second is for his Twitter habit. According to Politico, the president has, quote, resisted his aides and treaties to swap out the Twitter phone on a monthly basis because it's too inconvenient. Supposedly, the president has given Kim Jong-un his direct phone number. If he was referring to his cell phone, this would raise some interesting security concerns. Are you aware of these reports about various phones that are being used by the president? Are you concerned about whether or not sensitive information from those devices may be intercepted by our adversaries?
Senator, I'm not aware of the particulars of the president's phone usage.
Would it be a matter of concern if anyone who has access to such information was using a device that could be intercepted by our enemies?
I think it's important for all of us to recognize that device security is a particularly important part of our security, and it's something that we emphasize heavily in the intelligence community.
And Anand thought he knew the source of the leaked information. Amanda Renta, what's her name? Q says Amanda Renteria is the bridge between Loretta Lynch and Hillary Clinton. Background on Amanda Renteria: she's been in politics forever, was a former aide for Dianne Feinstein, heavily connected to Hillary Clinton, and is now thrown her hat in the ring to be governor of California, although in the last poll she's polling around 1% of the vote, so she doesn't have a real chance of winning. Q reposted my tweet from yesterday afternoon confirming that Comey and Lynch let Hillary skate on her illegal emails because prosecuting her would lead to them being prosecuted, something that Q knew in October. Okay, thanks, baby. Just got some information from my wife. I'll include that at the end of the video. Q just posted again. You'll like this. It'll be amusing. So, continuing on, one of the Anons asked, when will Hillary, be indicted, and will this lead to Barack Obama being indicted? Q responded, okay, this is, again, my new favorite Q post. I don't know. There's so many good posts in this one. I might have to click on this to get all of it in there. There you go. IG email investigation is the weakest of the set. Remember, there are, 3 or 4 more reports coming out from the Inspector General, and this is the weakest one. This is the one that matters the least. But it opened a door to Weiner, Hillary, and others, and crimes against children. Noose. Refer to Huber. Non-public. Huber's investigation. Nothing's leaking. Grand juries, it's all sealed. Nothing going out. Clinton Foundation investigation is ongoing. We are going to get a report on the Clinton Foundation investigation. Inspector General is investigating that. It's connected. Will that be referred to Huber? Plus the FBI protection of Hillary and FBI criminal acts. Will that be referred to Huber? That's actually the next report that's coming out. I have an article on that here in just a minute. What about the DOJ texts and emails? Why did the Intel comms rate the sections of the IG report at the highest level of national security? What does it involve? DOJ, White House, tarmac. Will that be referred to Huber? Rod Rosenstein, in the brackets. IG report release does not coincide with the true start date. Info push to of Huber regarding the above. Scope and size is the biggest in history. Grand jury in place? Q. Of course grand jury's in place. All right. Q said that as far as the prosecution of the deep state goes, Sessions has put all of his eggs in one basket. And that basket cannot be tainted, it is not going to leak, and it is in the care of John Huber. Q posted this, and I am already almost an hour into this video, so I am not going to read it. I'm going to show you some links. There are 3 links in this, and these are just excerpts from these articles. For those of you who are not convinced that Huber is the right man for the job and that we've got all this going down, this first link is a Fox News article. Inspector General 2.0 could be even worse for the FBI as feds brace for the Trump spying report to come out. So the next report from Horowitz is going to be about the abuse of FISA and the abuse of the spying intelligence against the Trump campaign. That is coming out next, and this article suggests it could be worse than this report. Second article is a Breitbart article. It's about Lisa Page and Peter Strzok and their bias against Trump. Third article, of course, is from Breitbart. Q has posted this many times. If you haven't read it yet, please read it. Turley, former U.S. attorney and prosecutor, on why Sessions using Huber is a much better approach than a second special counsel. One of the Anons did not see the basis for Q's assertion that the public IG report was not the original one. Q, you have not addressed why the IG said the altered report, according to you, was the real one. Q said, posted this 15-minute mark. It's a YouTube video, one of many examples.
What you're seeing here is a modified, redacted report by Ron Rosenstein, who was allowed to do this, and he's actually in the middle of all of it. So how is this, coming at it with clean hands? We actually don't know what all the evidence is because some of it has been removed.
Well, and I think some members of Congress are trying to request the original drafts of the documents before they were changed or allowed to have been looked at by other people.
Okay. Q noted that Senator John McCain, Mr. No Name himself, hasn't been seen lately. No Name is absent. Is the end near? Q. I'm not going to talk smack about my senator. There's enough people doing that. Q posted a link to a video that appears to capture the Bill Clinton, Loretta Lynch tarmac meeting. Oh, yes. Somebody caught it on video, at least part of it. Q says Amanda Renteria was a bridge between Loretta Lynch and Hillary, +1 Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch tarmac. She's a witness. Here's the link. Look close. Behind Bill Clinton, she was trusted by the Clintons running for governor of California. Who is funding? Who is her campaign manager? Risk is high. Q. Here's the video, and you can see in the video they're walking right here. Actually, let me zoom in. Yeah, let me try to zoom in here. I'll do full screen and see if that helps. You can see Bill Clinton walking, and you can see Amanda Renteria walking to the plane on the tarmac. I've been out here to this tarmac 100 times myself, picking up patients coming in from various places around Arizona and New Mexico. So that video is out there if you want to go check it out. You can go to my Twitter timeline and check it out. It's very interesting. If you're interested in getting information on Amanda Renteria and who is funding her, her finances, all that stuff, this is a Ballotopedia link. You can just look up Amanda Renteria and Ballotopedia and you'll get her information. All right. One of the Anons posted this. This is an actual tweet from Devin Nunes, grab the popcorn. He retweeted his tweet from that morning. Can anyone tell me about the DOJ lawyer that speaks French via text in the IG report? So Nunes is getting the information he wants. He says, grab the popcorn, you're going to love this. So sit tight, people. It's happening. Q said, you asked for the popcorn. Let's start here. I had a dream a couple of nights ago. And in the dream, I saw someone opening a private message that they received from Q and the team. And so I wanted to just post this. This is from December that Q posted. Board owners, mods, and other patriots, sincere thanks for all that you do. You are true heroes. Long overdue. My apologies. There will be a day within the next few months that a scary but safe personalized message will find its way to you on multiple platforms, recognizing your contributions. Thank you for your service. Godspeed, Q. I have seen some things, some stories that I think Q has already reached out to some of the board owners and mods and other people. I'm not expecting that to happen to me. I just had the dream, and I wanted to share that. And don't be surprised if the Q team reaches out to a few more people. Q posted this: Free Iran, fight, fight, fight. Regime change. People have the power. We stand with you. Q. This is just an article I posted. Iran, the leaders of Iran have actually banned the use of Telegram in Iran, and it has had some unexpected consequences. There's a lot of pushback against the mullahs. So people are fighting for freedom in Iran, and they're going to get it. It's coming. Q posted this in reference to the IG report. Declassify. Lisa Page, Viva la Resistance, Viva versus Viva, A versus E, J in brackets, J space C, okay, in brackets. Why classified by Intelcom at highest level? Define title. Define role with Mueller. Exchange shelters a very senior member. Q. All right. So let's look at these initials JC for a minute. Could be Jim Comey. Could be James Clapper. Could be John P. Carlin, who was the Director of National Security Division of the DOJ before he resigned or stepped down right before the election. He was heading the Russia investigation. No, sorry, before it became the Mueller investigation, he was directing that operation. This article here is a story about Carlin stepping down. Q says he was actually forced out. One of the Anons said, hey, what about the P at the end of Donald Trump's tweet today? Right? This is just so weird. This is a Trump tweet. Can't think of something more concerning than a law enforcement officer suggesting that they're going to use their powers to affect an election. Inspector General Horowitz on what was going on with the numerous people regarding my election, a rigged witch hunt. P. There's a little P, a letter P at the end of his tweet. He just added it on. So one of the Anons was like, hey, wait a minute, I like that. J underscore C with the extra P in the Twitter and the tweet. JPC, John P. Carlin. So Q says, what a coincidence. All right. Q posted this. We're getting caught up. We're getting close to being done, actually. This is a sample of a bunch of articles all bashing Q. Q is a LARP. Q is an internet troll. Q is a phony. Q is urban legend. So Q says this is just a sample. Why so much attention? 2 more articles. One from the Daily Beast, one from Vice.com. Yours truly made it into the Daily Beast article. Thank you, Daily Beast. I appreciate your drawing more people to Q. Keep up the good work. Lisa Mae Crowley, our friend on Twitter, she made it into the Vice article. Q says, conspiracy, huh? Right on. This is the first link. And let me get the second link spooling up here. First link is from Daily Beast. QAnon, the crazy pro-Trump conspiracy melts down. So yeah, they're just going on and on about, oh look, praying medic, a Q proponent who amassed more than 140,000 followers on YouTube and Twitter. Blah, 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 blah. All right, this is the one from Vice, a guide to QAnon, the king of right-wing conspiracy theories. There's actually some very interesting information in this article. You might actually want to read it. What are crumbs and breadcrumbs? What are bakers? What is dough? What are stringers? What is the storm? They actually tried to do kind of a half-assed job of explaining what Q is all about, although it is admittedly half-assed. So, fun times. Look, a very wise man once said there's no such thing as bad publicity, so whatever, the more they attack us, the stronger we're going to get. If they were smart, they would just shut up about it. All right, Q posted a link to a video clip from the Inspector General hearing where Representative Sheila Jackson said that she knew that there was plans to fire Rod Rosenstein on Friday. And Q asked, what is this, and would she know about this? Here's a link, and here's a video.
Dealing with the Republicans' attempt to undermine the Mueller investigation and as well to fire Attorney General Rosenstein, which they're planning to do on Friday.
So referring to the hearing, Q posted this, text A, text B, text C. Text B was missing, and it took 4 attempts to recover due to a glitch, in quotes. Text B was supplied in the IG report. How can you obtain text A and C, but somehow the most incriminating one, the middle one, text B, is lost due to a glitch, recovered later, according to them, only after classified intelligence methods were applied? This is the level of corruption we're dealing with. The American people are not stupid, right? No one should buy that stupid story. If you're interested, this is an article about Jim Jordan going after the Inspector General and Chris Wray about the texts and the missing ones. And he goes, this whole thing just stretches credulity, that this text was somehow missing and they happened to find it using some kind of high-tech way of searching. And that is BS. They had that thing and they sat on it and they didn't want it to come out. There's even a worse text. That's what Q is alluding to in all of this. There are worse, more incriminating, more damning texts that have not come out. And Jim Jordan, Andy Biggs, Mark Meadows, Devin Nunes, Trey Gowdy, those are the texts that they want to get at because they know there are even more damning texts out there that they're hiding. All right. We are going to wrap up with this. Q posted this picture. What a wonderful day. And it is the file name, iPhone tweets. Okay. We just heard about this thing with iPhones and how President Trump has 2 phones and he's using them to call Kim Jong-un, and is it safe and is it secure and all this other nonsense. Well, Q said, what a wonderful day. Okay. Q also suggested we're going to start getting images from inside Marine One. There's a lot of speculation about what this image is. One of the Anons said, oh, it's George Soros. They looked at this image, lined up George Soros, a couple of moles, and said, oh, it's Soros. Different opinions and ideas. Q just posted, and I'm going to show you what Q posted. One of the Anons said, hey, come on, Q, who is it? This is the owl photo all over again. Lots happening today, and the Anons are focusing on it. Damn blurry photo of the same old man. Ended already. Q posted 45. It's Trump. Blurry photo of the president from the iPhone. Right, so Q said iPhone tweets. So we're going to get some more interesting pictures coming out. So be encouraged, patriots. Keep us in prayer. Keep Q and the team in prayer. Keep the president in prayer. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing this on social media. That is all I have for you on this update. This is Prairie Medic signing off. I will catch you on the next broadcast.